Hello everyone and welcome to Queer Cyclist. We are approaching the end of 2021, a year that was somehow worse than 2020. However, it was a great year for bikepacking and a great year for cycling. So today I'm gonna go over my favorite gear of 2021. Some of these things I've talked about in my videos, some of them I haven't, but I will link every single one of them in the description below if you want to check them out. I've got 10 things for you guys today, so let's start with number 1, and that is the Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2 for bikepacking. I bought this tent last year. I have a video on it. It was one of the first videos that I made on this channel, and I've spent about a dozen nights in it. So far, I really like this tent. Despite the fact that it's supposed to be for 2 people, it is palatial for 1. It weighs a couple of pounds. I can throw it into my handlebar bag. I can also strap it onto a rack on the back of my bike. If I had to complain about one thing for this tent, it would be that you have to buy a separate footprint for $75 and it doesn't fit in the stuff sack. Come on, Big Agnes. Come on. But other than that, this is a great tent, and I would highly recommend it to anybody looking to get a compact and lightweight bikepacking tent. Adding on to my sleep system, my second favorite piece of gear is the Thermarest Pro Light. I have this in size large. It is 25 inches by 77 inches or 64 centimeters by 196 centimeters. This is a self-inflating pad. I've tried a couple of inflatable pads, including the Sea to Summit Ultralight Insulated Pad. I just don't find the ultralight pads really comfortable. They feel like sleeping on like a balloon, and it makes the same kind of noise as a balloon. Even though this thing is super bulky, it's kind of a pain in the butt to pack on your bike. I don't mind that because I've gotten the best sleep I've ever gotten on a bikepacking trip on this mattress. If you also like sleeping well on bikepacking trips, you should hit the subscribe button. I also pair it with a Rockgeist Animalist pad. This isn't necessarily part of my favorite gear, but I do recommend putting the sleeping pad on a closed cell foam mattress so it doesn't slip around. It also adds a little bit of warmth. The last thing on my list that's kind of in the category of sleep system are fairy lights. I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I really like bringing fairy lights on all of my trips. I think these are really nice to put in your tent if you like to read at night, or if you just like a softer light. I find headlamps are really harsh for reading or for journaling or whatever you like to do in your tent. They're super cheap on Amazon. They only cost a couple of bucks, and you need 3 AA batteries. It's not necessarily a traditional piece of bikepacking gear, but I really like it. The next thing on my list is the Sea to Summit collapsible bowl. A couple friends of mine recommended this to me. When you have dehydrated meals, you can just put them in here instead of having to kind of like dig into the bag to eat the food. You can also put like couscous in here or anything that's dehydrated and rehydrate it in the bowl by just screwing on the lid. It's kind of a luxury when you're out in the wilderness and you don't want to stick your dirty hands into your food bag. So here it is on my favorite gear list of 2021. Also food related on my list is the Muir 12-ounce travel mug. This was gifted to me by Black Coffee Roasting Company when I won the Swift Campout giveaway back in the summer. You can find that video here if you'd like to watch it. This is an incredible mug. It's a little bit heavier than like a ceramic mug or something more ultralight, but it's really nice to have a hot cup of coffee stay hot in the morning, which if you have an enamel mug, you know that it loses heat really quickly. It's also got this convenient little lid here. So if you strap it on your bike and you have it out and about, no dirt will get inside of your mug, so you can keep it kind of clean. Thank you so much, Black Coffee Roasting Company. I love this piece of gear that you gave me. Also, your coffee is awesome. The next piece of gear on my list I also received from the Swift Campout giveaway, and that is the Rafa cargo shorts. I didn't know how much I needed a pocket in my shorts to put my phone until I put these on. The chamois is really comfortable. My 2 favorite chamois are chamois in Kitzbuh shorts and chamois in Rafa shorts. The fact that the Rafa short has a pocket is mind-blowing. I am probably gonna order more of these at some point. They're awesome. Moving on, my next favorite piece of gear are the Kitzbuh Kitchell lightweight glove. Before this year, I've never really used proper mountain biking gloves or like gloves made by an actual bike company. I've always just found gloves like on cheap on Amazon. So when Kitzbuh sent me these for a bikepacking film that my friend Finch made back early in the summer, I was really pleasantly surprised about how good these are. There are holes in the fingers so your fingers don't get too sweaty. There's also a leather patch right here that provides some kind of cushion on the handlebars themselves. They also just fit really nicely, though I will say that normally I wear large in women's gloves. These are medium, so they do run a little bit large, at least this run of gloves does. So just be wary that the sizing might be a little bit off. Also in the category of apparel is the Topo Ultralight Jacket. This is the first thing I ever did a review on this channel. I really love this jacket and bring it on most of my trips. I just throw it in a fanny pack or whatever bag that I have. It's a really nice layer in the summer if it starts to get a little cooler as the sun goes down, or it can be a shell for like a winter cycling kit. It has a whole lot of uses and it's really light. These typically go on sale at multiple points throughout the year. I bought this for $25 on like some kind of sale that they were having. So keep an eye out because I think that they usually retail at like $79 or something around there. The second to last thing on my favorite pieces of gear list is the Wolftooth 8-bit multi-tool. This thing has saved me a couple of times. You open it up like this. It's got all of these different bits in there that you insert into the end. It flips like this, so it works kind of like a ratchet, and it gives you a bit of leverage, and you can get in places that are harder to get to with a traditional multi-tool. It does have its limitations. It doesn't have a chain breaker. I'm sure there are other things that I haven't thought of, but overall, this is a really nice lightweight multi-tool that's really innovative. It packs conveniently away in my tool roll, so I don't really have to think about it when I'm riding. I've had other like massive multi-tools that I have to like throw in a bag, or I have to have like a whole nother apparatus to carry, and this is just super unobtrusive, which I really value for most of my rides. The last piece of gear on my favorite pieces of gear of 2021 list is the Bags by Bird Goldback. I love this bag. This is my favorite bikepacking bag that I own. I had this particular bag custom made and it does not disappoint. I can fit my entire sleep system plus some in this bag. Now, granted, it is taller for my bike. Not all of these come like this, but because I have a lot of clearance, I could have that bag designed a little bit bigger. Most of the Goldbacks come with 2 pockets on either side. I opted for a mesh pocket on my right side so that I could stick snacks and stuff in there when I'm riding. The bag itself is really well made. It has been caught in a number of rainstorms and deluges, and it has never gotten wet inside. Even though it's not technically waterproof, I've never had any issues with it leaking. I know I have a few videos where I just like wax poetic about Bags by Bird, but I just really have had such a good experience with their bags. I recommend these bags to anyone looking to build a bikepacking setup. That is the gear list. That is my favorite gear of 2021. Again, if you are interested in any of these items, I have linked them in the description below. And if you like this content and want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.